All right, hey, look, we just got done filming our episode of The Rules, and that rule was know your baggage. We had some intense conversation. So now, after the show, we get a chance to interact with our audience. So I'm excited. So I'm going to turn this over to our correspondent reporter here for the 757, Miss Paula B.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. Okay, I'm so excited. Did everybody enjoy the show?
Yes.
It was awesome, wasn't it? Yes. All right, we have a question from Miss Bonnie. You want to stand up?
Yes.
And you are posting a question to the coach or the couch?
The panel. That's so beautiful.
Aren't they? Oh, okay. Okay, what she wants to know is what happens or what does a woman do when she meets a guy that may be the one, but his baggage is too familiar and not in a good way? Ooh.
I think you have to first be honest with yourself. I think it's important because there are red flags and there are non-negotiables that we all have. And when you see your non-negotiables, so there are some things that we can work with. And then there are some things that you know as a person that it just is not going to work. And when you see those things, run. A lot of times as women, we hang around because we want to see, I wonder what it's going to look like, if it's going to get better, am I going to be able to, work with this? Because he's a good man and, he got a job and he got his own place and he has a nice car. But if you see red flags that are your non-negotiables, sweetie, don't stay, run. You're going to cause yourself some great heartache.
Better get some sneakers. I'm saying, I'm telling you to run.
Well, I used to run track, so.
Also, it sounds familiar, but what if the familiar is not bad? Maybe his familiar baggage is a trigger to a baggage of fear for you, or a trigger where you don't like to work through things. He might need you to help him through that baggage. So I say that it depends on what that familiar is. If like, oh my gosh, he's deep, I gotta go. If that what it is, you need to, put on your big girl draw legs and work it out.
It's gotta be with what you're comfortable with. So I'm kind of in the middle of what they're saying. You don't have to completely run away. You don't have to completely run away, and it's just, if you want to stick around, that's cool. But with whatever those familiar items are we're talking about, just make sure you're okay with them. If it's going to be too much for you and it's going to cause more of a stress and it's going to turn this wonderful man into a hot mess, then no. But if you can work on it, there's nothing wrong with that. I see both sides on this one. So it's up to you.
Is that okay?
Thank you.
If you want him to accept some of your baggage and deal with some of it, you have to be willing to do the same thing. You just can't always tuck your tail and run every time something gets tough.
Right,
that's what's wrong with America now.
Right, and I didn't say that. I said if you see a non-negotiable,
right.
That's different than seeing something that's familiar. Because a non-negotiable is, absolutely there is no way that you can deal with that. And prior to the show, we were talking about men who are married who don't take care of their kids. That's a non-negotiable for me. I can't be your boo if you've made children with other women and you're not taking care of them. I'm not hanging around for that one. I'm out.
Some people's non-negotiables are different than others. I understand what you're saying. There's some way you got to draw a line somewhere. But hey, he's not over 6 foot tall, so I don't want nothing to do with him.
But that's not what she meant. It's not that simple.
But y'all
Although
it's not
I
that
like them tall, but that's not what we're talking about. Those are superficial things.
Yes.
See, those are things. If he doesn't dress the way you want him to dress, his hair is not. those are things you can change. You can go to Target, hook him up.
Give him a good S-curl.
But if he doesn't have character, and integrity, you can't buy those on the shelf at Target.
Yes.
You have to know you.
Yeah. What else we got, Paul?
Right, and then now I want to add to that, because if you have a familiar, if it's something familiar, now it could be something that's violent or volatile. You understand what I mean? That's not in a good way. Right, then it's out.
That's out. It's out. Then I'll leave this way. Yeah.
All right, so
Yes, I have something to add to that.
We don't have time in our life. I can only speak for myself. To build a man, you want to equal. I don't have time to build a man and then he come and not fully assembled. That's all I got to say about that. But I appreciate all the panel, and like I said, I want my equal that's going to come and we're going to build together.
Amen. Thank you, sis.
Thank you.
So turn it over to Coach.
All right, so hey, that's a great question. So here's the bottom line. No matter who you are, you can never be all you're supposed to be unless your mate is all he or she's supposed to be. And who you are is an amalgamation of all your experiences. That includes your baggage. There's a reason your baggage comes to you. The baggage is not there to define you, it's there to refine you. Because who you are is what Providence says you are. So we all come with baggage. So there are some non-negotiables. I agree with Doc. If he's abusive, you cut it. There are some non-negotiables. But most of the things in a relationship, if he is a good man, cut it. If he is the good man for you, you keep him. And that has to be the criteria. Not whether he's good or he's great. Not if he's a one, but if he's the one, your baggage will work itself out.
All right.
Hey, we've enjoyed having Paula. Do we have anything else, or are we good to go?
Anything else? I think we're good to go, Coach.
All right, hey, I want to tell our Facebook friends, hey, we are enjoying doing this show next Tuesday. Is it next Tuesday? No, I'm sorry. In 2 weeks, on September 12th, July 12th. On July 12th, we'll be back here talking about how to protect the cookie jar.
Ooh.
That's going to be hot. Come join us at Spades, Virginia Beach. And we talk about July 12th at 7 p.m. as we talk about how to protect the cookie jar. Because if you know the rules, you won't